Hello guys, Flashlight Enthusiast here. So today I figured out that we show you the Anduril UI, how to operate your new flashlight with this complex but perfect for every flashaholics and flashlight enthusiast UI. Shout out for ToyKeeper for creating such an amazing piece of work. This is by far my favorite flashlight UI. This is a bit complex, but as I show you in this video, it's not that hard to learn if you actually have your manual printed in front of you and some flashlight to practice on. So with further ado, let's get started. So today here I've got this Noctigon KR4 with Anduril UI. Basic operation is very simple. So basically one click for turning on the flashlight, one click for turning off. Nothing fancy here, right? When the flashlight is turned on, you simply hold the button to increase the brightness, blink at the top, hold again to decrease. Alright? Again, nothing fancy here. The next level of operation might be double clicking for turbo. One click for off. Hold the side switch to turn the flashlight on in the minimum level. Okay, for more advanced users, you've got something like floor and ceiling, alright? So you've got it here on the diagram. Here's the floor and ceiling. As you can see on the ramp, ceiling is actually not the highest possible level, although it could be, and the floor is not the lowest settings, but again, it could be, alright? So let's just explain what does that mean. So the common problem is that when you get your Anduril flashlight without any calibration out of the box, you have to understand that you have to actually configure this flashlight for your own needs. When it comes from the factory, it does not have necessary calibration. It's up to you actually to get the work done. So when you actually hold the button and turn the flashlight on the lowest setting, it's actually the floor mode, alright? And when you double click from off, it's again the ceiling. It's not the turbo. When you double click again, actually you can see the increased brightness, then it's only turbo. But you can configure it that way that you actually the ceiling is the turbo and the floor is the moonlight mode, but about that in a minute. Okay, so when you the important difference is when the flashlight is off, double click, it is ceiling, but when the flashlight is on and you double click, it's turbo. Okay, bear this in mind. Obviously, when you ramp up, when the flashlight is on, when you ramp up to increase brightness, again you get as high as the ceiling will allow, and then double click, it goes to turbo. Double click again, it returns to the previous mode, so you can be actually in the middle of the ramp, double click for turbo, double click again, you return for the previous remembered mode. You cycle down by, so you can actually cycle up by holding the switch, tap and hold, and you always go down. But it will automatically remember whether you go up or down, so you can actually hold the switch, wait over 1.5 seconds, hold again, and it will always increase. But if you increase, then in this window of 1.5 second hold again, it will automatically decrease the brightness. Okay, but if you exceed this 1.5 second, you can always go down by clicking and holding the side switch. Okay, so now let's show you how to configure the ceiling and the floor and the turbo level. Right? But well, maybe I can show you that maybe you don't like this stepless dimming. Maybe you would like to have like normal modes, like in traditional flashlights. So you've got to moonlight, low, medium, high, and turbo. Let's say you want to have 5 levels and not 150, which is the case in this stepless ramping. Alright, so what you do is when you turn on your flashlight, you triple click 1, 2, 3, then it blinks, and then hold the side switch. Wow, we've got our modes. That's good. I've got it set here for 5 modes, so it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then turbo for double click. The same operation here. Alright, and when it's turned off, hold the side switch to enter the floor setting. Alright. Okay, so if you want to configure, you can actually configure those. And if you like to configure the floor, the ceiling level, and the number of steps, so means modes, you can actually do that. It's amazing in this Anduril UI, you can everything configured. So with the flashlight turned on, you click 4 times and then you enter this section. Alright, ramping configuration, 4 clicks. First you will have the floor configuration, then the ceiling, and then if you're in stepped ramping, you've got the number of steps. Alright, so we've got 3 sections here. Each section will be indicated by the very fast strobe mode and a lighter blink. Alright, let me show you. In each section you have to click n times of the side switch. Alright, as you can see here, to actually go to the desired level. So let's do it together. Hold on your flashlight and do it with me. So with flashlight turned on, 1, 2, 3, 4. 1 blink, and this is first section waiting for input. Let's say 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 12, 15, 14, 15, 16, 20. Let's go to 30 clicks, let's say. It's just an example. Then the second section waiting for input. Let's say again 30 clicks. And the third section waiting for input, number of steps, let's say 7. 1, 2, well, I was too late, so you have to do it quite quickly. So what I configured here is that I've got 30 clicks on the first and second settings, and it means that the ceiling level will be 30 clicks below the maximum level, and the floor settings will be 30 clicks above the lowest level. So it means that I'm getting like 90 brightness levels here, but on the third settings I got by default 5, so all from these 90 settings I've got only 5. So when I hold the side switch, it gets me to the like 30th mode. Double click, it gets me to the 120th mode. And then of course double click for turbo. Turbo is always available. Alright, I hope that's comprehensive. Let's go to Blinkies. Alright, so from off, to go to Blinkies, you actually click 3 times. 3 times from off. 1, 2, 3. And we've got our battery check, right? 1, 2, 3, 4. Once again, 1, 2, 3, 4.0. 1, 2, 3, 4. And this quick blink. 1, 2, 3, 4. Pause. So what that means, it's the battery has 4, pause, 0 volts. Okay, it can be like 3 blinks, pause, and 7 blinks, which means 3.7 volts. From that, we cycle in this loop by double clicking the side switch, alright? So, or the tail switch. So when we are in this blinks modes, I repeat, from off 3 clicks in battery check, then double click. We are in the sunset mode, which is actually slow dimming of the light in the course of 1 hour. Then another double click, we go to beacon, and we can actually configure the beacon by four clicks. And then we go into the beacon configuration, it's stated here, and as you can see here, we click n times for n seconds per flash. So if you want to so basically you're determining the seconds between one flash and another. So if you click 3 times, we've got 3 seconds between one flash and another. Here I've got 1 click, which is the lowest setting, and we've got 1 click, then second pause and another blink. Alright, so it's pretty straightforward. Double click again to go into the temperature check. 1, 2, and then 7 clicks. 1, 2, pause. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, which means 28 Celsius degrees. Bear in mind this is in Celsius, so if you use Fahrenheit scale, then you have to somehow calculate what the temperature will be in Celsius, because if you configure the temperature, which is highly advised, you will need the Celsius reading. Okay, so this settings shows the temperature of the flashlight. When it settles down to room temperature, you've got a bonus thermometer from your flashlight, which is quite cool. But this settings also determines when your flashlight is going to step down from the highest mode when it's overheated. So you can actually set it for any given temperature you would like. You can set it for 100 degrees Celsius, which I do not advise to do. Probably the the best level for that would be like 55 to 60 degrees, because above that you will have to wear gloves not to get hurt. But in this between 55 and 60 degrees you can still hold the flashlight with your bare hands. Eventually you can just move your grip closer to the tail so that the heat won't radiate from the head to your fingers. But I usually use 60 degrees and it's just fine. Obviously the higher the temperature, the step down will occur later, and you will get increased time of your maximum brightness, which is fine, but not everybody likes it, so bear this in mind. Configure this to your own desired setting. How to configure the thermal settings? You have to be in the battery check mode. So again, from off we've got always in the battery check 1, 2, 3. So we have to cycle by double pressing through sunset, beacon and temperature check, and then we click 4 times again for thermal configuration, which is here. And first of all we have to configure current temperature and then temperature limit. Alright, but if you don't want to change some of the settings, you can actually do that. So 1, 2, 3, 4, first section current temperature, I've got it set, so I won't do anything, but you just click n times for that. And this is second section for limit, and bear in mind that in this limit temperature you click n times for every degree above 30 degrees Celsius. So the minimum of step down is 30 degrees. So if you want to 60 degrees, you just have to click 30 times, because 30 plus 30 equals 60. And in this current temperature, the same principle applies. You click n times for the Celsius reading. So if in this room I'm recording it's 20 degrees, you have to click 20 times and wait for the strobe to stop, then wait for the 2 clicks that indicates the second section. Alright, when we are done with the blinkies, let's go to the next setting, which is lockout mode. Very important, guys. You don't want the flashlight to turn on in your pocket. So from off, 1, 2, 3, 4, and it's locked. Obviously you can have this indicated by the auxiliary LEDs if you have one, but if you don't worry. It's very easy to check whether you press the side switch. It won't turn on, right? You just do momentary. As long as you hold the switch, you can actually light something. And this is the interesting fact with newer versions of Anduril, that you can actually click and click again and hold, and you get, wow, another brightness level. What is this? You know, guys, the first brightness level is the floor level of current ramp. So we are here in the step ramp, so this is the floor we configured, 30 clicks. This is the first setting, and another setting is the floor level of the other ramp, which is, in this case, stepless dimming, alright? But if you are in the stepless dimming, the first brightness level will appear from this stepless dimming. So the first brightness is your actual ramp, and the second level is the other ramp that you're not using at this particular moment. So bear this in mind, and as I told you previously, you can configure this floor level, so this brightness in this lockout mode also can be configured via this floor mode. Alright. To exit the lockout mode, you simply press 4 times as you enter it. 1, 2, 3, 4, and now the flashlight will blink, indicates that we are now in this normal mode. The next mode is Momentary, which is usually used for signaling or simply playing with this flashlight. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and the flashlight will enter the last memorized brightness mode into this Momentary, okay? And as you can see, as long as I press the side switch, the flashlight is on. I release, the brightness also ceases, alright? So you can actually quickly signalize something, you know, that the Morse alphabet you can use here. It's very convenient, but as you can see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, nothing happens. I'm always in this momentary mode, so to actually exit this momentary mode, you have to break the contact. So unscrew the tail or head, it doesn't matter. Okay, and now we return to the normal operation. Right? The next mode is called Muggle mode. Yes, Harry Potter, etc. So it's basically the mode you would like to set the flashlight in when you're giving it to, I don't know, the children or somebody that's not keen into flashlights and might get lost in this Anduril UI that I'm explaining right now to you. So you enter it by 6 times clicking, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And now we're in the Muggle mode. It's very simple because it does not feature any fancy settings. It's just ramp up, ramp down the brightness, on off by clicking, and turbo does not work, so it's very easy to distinguish the Muggle mode from other, because if you double click in Muggle mode the flashlight goes off, but in normal modes it goes to turbo. Let's see, 1, 2, you can see, so I know that I'm in Muggle mode. There's no turbo, alright, but 1 click for off, 1 click for on, hold the button to increase brightness, hold again to decrease the brightness. As you can see, it's not crazy bright, it's specially designed so that the Muggle, so person not keen on this topic, would not harm themselves. So how to exit the Muggle mode? Again, 6 times from off, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and now we are in normal mode. Hooray! I love this. Alright, so we've got the Muggle mode and a huge section here called Strobes. We've got candle, bike flasher, party strobe, tactical strobe, and lightning storm. What the heck is this? Right, let's show you guys. To enter the strobes, you have to click 2 times, and then on the 3rd click you hold the button. Let's see. 1, 2, hold. And now we're in the candle mode. As you can see, the light flickers, imitating the candle. Wow, that's cool. Alright. As in Blinkies, you cycle through all these 5 sections by double clicking. 1, 2. And now we're in a bike flasher. So it's solid light and then 1 second of quick strobe. Okay. Double click again for party strobe, which is low setting but quick strobe, and double click for tactical strobe, which is the same settings but much brighter. Ouch. let's go for the lightning storm by double clicking. And this is actually probably the most fun mode in the Anduril, which is imitating the thunderstorm. Just, you know, go to your stereo system and play some thunderstorm sounds, turn on your Anduril flashlight, and you've got a storm in your house, which is excellent experience. Trust me on that. Double click again. Oh, I clicked. Okay, so basically in the strobe mode, as in Blinkies, it always goes to the battery check mode. In the strobes, it actually remembers the last used mode. So when you double click and hold, it will go to the thunderstorm, which I left it in. Double click again for candle mode, so it actually cycles through the loop. Okay guys, this is the basic UI that you can actually go through. I would leave it in 1, 2, 3, my stepless dimming, which I like more. But we also have some AUX or button LEDs in some of Anduril flashlights. Alright, let's leave this Noctagon for a while. But we've got here also Anduril flashlight, but without auxiliary LEDs. But it has some button LEDs, and we've always had this question on our Facebook group that my new Anduril flashlight came in and I don't know what these LED buttons do, you know, will it drain my battery? How can I turn it off? Actually, I'm glad you asked. You can turn it off, or you can make it brighter. You can simply click 7 times. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Wow! It turned brighter, alright? But I don't know. I don't want it brighter. I want it turned off. No problem, mate. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. It enters Blinky. And again, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Wow, it disappeared. Great. I like it. Alright? When the flashlight is on, it will appear, obviously, but on the off position, it won't bother you. Alright? So it again, it's on this diagram in the lower section. As you can see here, we've got this brightness off, low, high, blinking, and it cycles again to off by 7 times clicking, and you've got it here. 7 sim, it's 7 clicks. And what got it here? 7H, it's 7 times hold. So on the 7th click, you hold the button. I will show you here. We've got this green auxiliary LEDs, beautiful color. But I would like to change it. No problem, man. Simply click 7 times, and on the 7th click, you hold the button, alright? Let's switch the hands. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and you're holding the button and the colors will change. Wow, this is cool. So as soon as I release the hold, it will stop changing. That's pretty simple, alright? But there are some more modes here. As you can see, we've got RYGC, B, V, W, rainbow, and volts. Obviously the single letters means single colors, which is red, yellow, green, cyan, if I pronounce this correctly, blue, violet, and white, I guess. And then we've got rainbow, which is actually cycling through all these colors in one mode. And the volts actually can read your battery voltage and tell you whether the battery is depleting or not without turning on the flashlight. So let's check the rainbow first. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, hold. Blue, violet, white. And here is your rainbow. So it's changing the frequency slow. And then if you want to volts, you have to wait for the high frequency turning colors. Alright, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And that is your voltage mode. Alright, so the highest settings will be violet, then blue, then cyan, then green. then yellow, then red, and below 2.7 volts it actually turns off, so it's not even red anymore. Well, if your battery voltage in theory exceeds 4.2 volts, I guess it should display it in white LEDs, but actually I never observed it in real life, so it's like it is there in the options, but it's highly improbable that you get above 4.25 volts, I guess. Alright, so we've got it in battery voltage. As you can see here now it's blue, but if I turn it into turbo and wait a bit, so the battery voltage drops. Wow, we've got cyan. And we wait just a bit, so the battery voltage rises. Voila, it turns again into blue. So it's normal operation, don't be alarmed guys. It's normal that after the high mode the battery voltage drops a bit. It's called SAG, and it will after a while go above this level and return to the normal state. Right guys, you can also configure the memory. Alright, so maybe you like the state when you actually, turn the flashlight off, and you would like to return the next time you turn on the flashlight to this mode. But maybe you want something like that no matter which mode you left the flashlight in, you always want the flashlight to turn on in the default mode, which is the floor level, or maybe the highest regulated mode, right? So we've got it here, as you can see, 5C and 5H, which is manual memory and automatic memory. Right? So manual memory, this is the option I mentioned, that you enter the mode that you left your flashlight in last time, and automatic memory will always turn on in the same mode no matter which mode you left the flashlight in. Okay. And the last thing I wanted to cover is that you can actually configure the auxiliary LEDs in the lockout mode. So it works in the same manner as in normal mode, but instead of 7 clicking or 7 holding, it's actually 3 clicks or 3 holds, because 4 clicks would exit the lockout mode. So let's go into the lockout. 1, 2, 3, 4. We are now here in lockout, and I've got blinking green. Alright, blinking green. But I want to have, let's say, solid green. Alright, so to change the brightness, I've got 3 clicks. 1, 2, 3. Now it's off. 1, 2, 3. Now it's low level. 1, 2, 3. Now it's high level. Hooray! And I want to change color for, let's say, red. So here it comes. 1, 2. And on the third you have to hold, and you hold as long as you reach the desired color. Boom. Alright? And now I've got it. So it's definitely our lockout mode, but I changed the auxiliary for red solid brightness level. Alright? Exit lockout by 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 clicks. And now we've got our blue voltage indicator. Alright guys, that's probably it, but there are some 2 other features that Anduril offers, actually the newer versions of Anduril offers. One of them is stated here at the bottom, so it's called the factory reset. I don't know what's going on with this camera, it cannot focus. Alright, so loosen the tail cap, hold button, tighten tail cap and hold for 3 seconds, or simply 13 hold from off. So basically, if you mess up with your settings, you don't know where you are, which actually happens, that you go into the Muggle, you don't know where you are, but I believe after this video you will know perfectly where you are on this chart and in this flashlight manual. But if not, you can always do the factory reset and start all over again, so it's not a problem. you simply unscrew the tail cap, just a bit to break contact, as you can see. Then you hold the button, you hold the button and tighten the tail cap. You wait 3 seconds and voila, reset occurred. Or alternatively, you can click 13 times, and on the 13th click you hold the button. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 1, 2, 3. Again, wait a bit. Boom. 3 seconds and you're done. Actually, we've got this rainbow in low settings here. I definitely didn't set that, so the reset occurred perfectly. And another actually hidden function is the version check. Not a lot of people know about this, but you can actually check the version of your Anduril if it was created after the April of 2020, I believe. No, it's February 2020, I believe. Okay, so you access it by clicking 15 times. Alright? As I say, not every flashlight has that. So let's say this Sovereign Anduril, click 15 times, alright? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Nothing happens, alright? So this flashlight does not have, but this Noctigon is lucky to have this feature. Alright, so in this mode you will get display of the date of your software. So it will go in year, then month, and day. So in this format, and I will show you in a moment. So let's turn on this mode. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, blink, 1, 2, again blink, blink, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2. So I believe it was 7. So as you can see, we got 2020, which is year, 03, which is month, which is March, and 27, which is day. So it's 27th of March 2020 where that software was created and implemented on this flashlight. So it's a nice feature, you know, to check whether your Anduril version is up to date, or you can actually update your software. Alright, so guys, last but not least, as I probably told you, there are numerous versions of this Anduril. The newer versions will actually blink a little bit faster than the old ones. So let's say this Sovereign Anduril version to the battery check mode even. Alright, so triple click, 1, 2, 3. So as you could see, the Sovereign actually blinked a little bit slower than this Noctigon, because Noctigon has the newer version and the blinking speed was improved. So don't worry if your flashlight seems to blink a little slower than you see on the video. It's just the older version of Anduril, but the manual is actual. Alright, so in an older version of Anduril you might not have this manual or automatic memory, or maybe a factory reset won't be available, but the basic operation, as I showed you, the ramping, all the hidden features, the strobes, the blinkies, and the configuration settings are all the same. So don't worry, you can always update your Anduril version, which is free source, so you can just download the hex and update your version if you had the kit and you know how to do it. So guys, I guess it's all for today. Thanks for watching, and I highly believe that you won't get lost anymore with this Anduril UI. Enjoy this, because it's probably the best UI for flashlight enthusiasts up to date. Stay tuned guys, thanks for watching, hit the subscribe button, like this video if you enjoyed it, leave a comment, and we will see you in the next one.